Okay, today's workout, and it is very much a workout, not really any training or anything, kind of easier, especially after the hell session yesterday. I got double 24s, I'm going to warm up, and then I'm going to do a swing plus clean and press ladder, undulating. That's how I like to train them. And I'll do 5 of those, and it'll be 30 reps per set, 150 reps in total. 75 swings, 75 clean and press. I mean, you could technically call the clean and press 2 exercises, so it's more like 225, but whatever the fuck. Some warm up, just going to be some swings and some push-ups, because why the hell not? No timers or anything. Ideally, you would pair this with squats, but my knee is fucked, so we're not doing that. Wire on. Now, a half decent workout on its own, especially if you're new. Literally just do swings and push-ups. You could get something out of that. Excuse me. I did eat an hour before this is being filmed because I was hungry. Usually I'm not. It's probably that 5-mile walk I did last night. After dinner, anyway, I got a request to do the next one shirtless. So you can see how the chest muscles were worked with the press. So, whatever. Sorry to y'all. I'm going to start out with 5 double swings, and then 1 clean and press. 4, then 2, 3, then 3. So on and so forth. You get the idea. 106 pounds in total. I say this is easy, I don't mean it's like easy. I mean, it's not gonna kill your cardio like clean and jerk. But what it does kill is your strength endurance. I still got a set of 5 on that clean and press. So it's taxing in that regard if you go heavy enough. So this is like putting 25 and a 10 on a barbell and, you know, doing cardio with it and then doing your presses, except you're doing the clean with it. So it is actually tough, just in a different way. So here's them clean and press. So when you do a press overhead, not so much a jerk, but a press, you engage the pec pretty well, like the top part especially. But if you do enough pressing, like you see, like everything contracts. You don't just have to do horizontal. Overhead pressing will work the chest, mostly upper chest, but whenever you work a muscle, at least in the chest anyway, you work all parts of it. So you can't really isolate one muscle because you have the upper head, the middle, and then the lower. So yeah, overhead press is decent for building your chest. A lot of people will find that if they switch to overhead press, if they're only doing flat presses, that their chest actually gets bigger because the overhead press helps stimulate the upper chest more. Okay, so what I'm going to do, because my forearm is a bit sore still, I'm going to stop doing the cleans, and I'm just going to do swing and press. And that is because my forearm is starting to bother me. I'm surprised it didn't bother me more after yesterday, so I'm not going to push it too hard. I'm just going to do 4 sets of swings. 4 sets of swings and then just a strict press. No clean because my forearm is a little shot. If I was doing 20s, I don't think it would be that problematic to do the clean and press. I have done this routine before. Ideally, you would pair this with a squat instead of a swing, but my knee is shot. So, yeah. Your rest, as much rest as you need in between. This is not a conditioning workout. This is more strength and power. So yeah, 4 more rounds. Round 2. Now we're gonna hit presses first. So 5 press, 1 swing. If you need to, do a push press like that. see, you go heavy enough, it's a pretty decent strength complex. So I might as well, since I ended up doing it, the difference between a push press and a jerk. The jerk, you catch a bell, you usually lean back a little bit, but you don't have to be. What you want to do, you dip down like this, then you pop up, and you pull yourself under as you're going up. So like, and then you stand up. A push press is like what I was doing there. You go like this, you just get a little bit of leg drive, and you get it up that way. There's no second dip. And that's basically the difference. You can do it like a squat, where you kind of just bend down and then go up, almost like a thruster, or you can do it like a jerk, where you pop like that, while you stay upright, you don't dip under it. So you're still getting a lot of press. A jerk, you're not really pressing a whole lot. You're using momentum to really get the weight up and lock it out. That's the difference between the two movements. So now we're going to start with 5 swings, 1 press, 4 swings, 2 press, etc., etc. So yeah, this is a quicker one. Not a lot of crazy volume. I'm not even doing the clean anymore because of my forearm. Although if you want to do the clean, go right ahead. It's good to do when I do squats. I'll definitely do the clean and press. Another thing I didn't account for is just gripping the kettlebells for both the swing and the cleans. It does tax the grip and then the forearm stress as well. But if you're doing squats, it's not really that big of a deal. And that is a nice complex. Before my knee started bothering me again, I was doing that complex 2 or 3 times a week. So that's a good one. 5 swings, you get the idea. Good press when you can. And if you gotta sit down in the middle like that, that's fine too. So I'll be straight with you. I ain't recovered from yesterday's workout, so I feel like I'm losing a lot of strength really quickly. So there's terminology for that. I like to call it leaks. So when I do something really hard and I'm really not ready to go back for another one, you kind of, okay, here's how I visualize it. It's like in Dragon Ball Z, when they go Super Saiyan, right? When they go that ascended mode that Vegeta and Trunks unlock first, right? They expand a shit ton of energy. They're stronger, but they can't maintain it as long. Same thing with Super Saiyan 3. I kind of like to visualize it like that, and then I can kind of, because what you want to do is you want to get your base form at that level without having to really push it. It kind of makes sense if you've been reading and watching Dragon Ball Z since you were 10, like I have, so 20 years. Just how I work it out in my head. It's a visual way to do it. Basically, I need to get my base form, yeah, I know, to that point, so I'm not expanding a shit ton of energy to do basic shit, is what I'm saying. It's just I like looking at it that way. 2 swings for press. Oops. I'll demonstrate the push press again. Shoulder width stance. Here's a more squat version. Here's a partial jerk. Between the two, I prefer the quarter squat cue. And I think that's because I'm so used to doing proper clean and jerk that I want to imitate that pattern. And I can't quite imitate it, so my form ends up being bad. But if I go with quarter squat, that's its own thing. So I just kind of started like a quarter squat motion and then go up with it. And I like doing that. If I'm trying to do clean and press. Push press. I don't do a lot of push press though. Generally speaking, the weights I have are not heavy enough. If I was just focused on pressing, these 53s aren't that big of a deal. It's because I'm throwing in a swing, so the cardio is going up. And when you're doing those swings, you keep your shoulders retracted, so your whole scapula and everything is getting taxed. And then when you go to press, well, that's what it rests on here. You keep your scapula retracted, and then you're pressing, you're working all that musculature. So you just fatigue yourself faster. And that's why I gotta put the weight down sometimes. Also, like I said, I'm just not quite recovered from yesterday. But I didn't feel like I needed an off day. Because if you take too many off days, I find that I actually get worse. Any injuries I have get worse. Any bit of nagging pains get worse. So I'm only taking an off day when I either don't have an option, like let's say life gets in the way and I can't hit the weights or whatever. All right, that's fine. Or if I feel so run down, I'm just like, yeah, I need an off day. For me, that was Tuesday. All right, next set here, I'm going to do it a little differently. It was 3 rounds, we had 45. So really I got 30 more of each. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go 5-3-2 for 3 rounds. That's another way you can break it down. I'm going to start with the press. 5 press, then 5 swing, then 3 press, 3 swing, 2 press, 2 swing. So 5-3-2, you do 10 reps instead of 15. Set it down if you need to, like that. It's not a big deal, especially if you're going to go for strength. So if I was to do this with, say, 28s, this is the method I would use. I do my set of 5 real quick, rest 30 seconds to a minute, do my set of 3, and then 2. There's a lot of different ways you can take this shit. You are mostly training your strength and power output, so you do tend to fatigue a little faster. It's not strength endurance training, and as you may notice, this aspect of the training is something that I'm currently not well conditioned to, as I'm legitimately having to put the bells down. I'm not doing this just to demonstrate how you can do it. I'm doing it because I literally can't press too much more. at the moment. All right. And I would like to keep these strict. And then we'll hit the 2. If your main goal is strength and muscle building, first of all, I suggest joining a gym and doing barbells, dumbbells, and some machines. But if you want to do it with kettlebells, hit up Joe Daniels, swing this kettlebell. I feel like he's probably the best one at it. And he's fucking huge, so. And really strong. I'm not that strong. But yeah, taking the heaviest kettlebells you have and doing a complex like this is the first decent step to that. So I got 2 more sets of those, and that'll be 75 reps of each. With the heavier weights, I would suggest doing it like this, and not trying to cycle through all 15 reps, especially not with the clean. I got a little cocky there. There was no way I was getting through that with the clean and press. My forearms were way too fatigued. When you are going with no timer and you're kind of resting in between, and it's just basic shit, hold the lockout, because what you're doing is you're getting your body used to the tension. So hold the lockout for a second or 2. Then control it back down, hold the lockout, and bring it back down. I feel like that's a good way if your main goal is strength and muscle. Power, and not so much. Power, you don't really need to focus on the eccentric, just the concentric. So something like push press is good for that, and then a jerk for explosive power is mostly what I train, but for longer periods of time. All right, that's enough rest. Set 2. I am going to start at 2 reps. Make it harder on myself. Then we'll go to 3. The other thing you can do is Dan John's Armor Builder, though I don't like it because it is not a conditioning complex. It is very much a strength complex. Also, I can't really squat at the moment because of my knees. Well, my one knee. I have no idea why I can jerk and snatch. But the squat seems to bother me. All right, now we got 3s. And then 5s. And then one more, it'll be 75. But yeah, for the stated goal of strength and muscular development, this is a better method than what I started with. So there's 2 ways you can do it. the first 2 or 3 sets I did is fine. Just use lighter weights. And then you're good to go for that kind of reps, that kind of volume. And now we got the 5s. See, I don't rest that long here. For the final set coming up, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn around so you can see how the back works when you do a press and the swings. So that might be helpful, I don't know. So this one will be from behind. We start with 5. And you should be able to see everything work there. At least the pressing. I don't have enough space to do the swings, but I'm going to hit the pressing, and then you can see the swing or the pressing and how it hits the back from behind. And this one we start with 5s to make life more difficult. Except I don't really have the space because my counter's in the way. So swing, pop it back over here, hit the 5 swings. Threes. And for this last one, I'm just going to do it normal. But the nice thing about training heavy, especially big compound movements, is that you do get a decent aerobic and conditioning effect. I don't believe that you're one of the people that needs to do a bunch of separate cardio if you're going to the gym and lifting weights hard. Unless you're like really sedentary outside the gym, in which case, yeah, you should do some cardio. But if you're fairly active and you just go to the gym like 4-5 times a week and you hit a lot of compound movements, I think you're going to be in pretty good shape overall, that you won't need to do straight cardio unless your goals are to get better at cardio and conditioning work, which is what my goals are, to be better at crazy shit. So I have to train harder that way. But if you're just average and you just want to look better, go to the gym 4 times a week, lift right, keep your diet on point. Unless you're like totally sedentary, you don't really need to do cardio. I don't think, because you do get a decent, your heart rate goes up. You get decent work in, especially if it's heavier weight. If it's fluff and pump bodybuilding style, throw in some cardio. But if you're going heavy and doing compounds, you're good. I think so anyway. Okay, one thing for sure, like I'm pretty sweaty. Like it's a decent workout. I'm not saying that it's, when I said it was easy to start, I didn't mean it was like easy. I just meant it wasn't like super complicated and it wasn't gonna leave you feeling like you're gonna die. But it's decent work. I'm at 75 of each movement. I'm gonna do 5 more just to round it to 80, because why the hell not? And then that'll conclude the strength portion of my weekly training. I don't normally record it because I kind of think it's boring. Because it is really, it's not that complicated. It's not that interesting to watch a guy press some weight and do some swings. It's more interesting to watch crazy shit. So that's what I think anyway. Since I'm going to do the crazy shit anyway, I might as well record it. So set of 5 here, start with the press. And that's it, 80 and 80. The second half of how I did it is definitely how you want to structure that. First half, nah. Only if you're doing lighter weights and want more conditioning focus. That 5-3-2 with heavier weights. Just strict press, no clean. That's how you want to hit that. And then I'll do some push-ups here. I don't do enough push-ups, to be honest. I really don't hit push-ups as well as I probably should. But I'm not going to record a bunch of push-ups because everybody knows how to do a fucking push-up. You do the push-ups off an elevated platform like this, you hit more. I feel like you hit the chest better. You get a much deeper stretch. You hit all areas of the chest better that way. So I like doing them that way. Versus on the floor. And then if you have wide enough kettlebells, you can do them off the handles. I'll fucking do a set off the handles, who cares? Okay. The problem with this is that it can, also you can go neutral grip like this, which is nice. Let me demo this. Look how high you can get on there. And the stretch. That's not bad. And then 10 push-ups, because you can do more usually, But I like, when I train push-ups, I don't like to do a ton of reps. I keep it at around 10 reps, and I do a shit ton of sets. And I think that's better than just going to like burnout. Because you can do a lot of volume with push-ups and it's not going to bother anything. So why burn yourself out on one set? And you'll hit more reps in that one set. Let's say you can do 50 to failure, and then you're like shot. Do 10 sets of 10 and you hit 100, and you got more cumulative volume. Makes more sense with an exercise like the push-up, because it's not that hard of an exercise, and get a shit ton of volume, and that's the benefit of doing something like that. And there's different ways you can do it too. You can do them straight off the floor. I mean, everybody knows a standard push-up. Yep, they're good. Like I said, you can just do swings and push-ups if you want. That wouldn't be a bad workout. Especially if you're not used to actually training anything. Use. If I could turn the camera off, it would be anyway. Peace.